equation involving exponents. Make sure the bases are the same. Then drop the bases and set the exponents equal. Inequalities use the same concept. Use A equals P, parentheses 1 plus R over NT to calculate the compound interest.
Okay, so let's look at the equation they give you for compound interest. And let's define all of the variables so you'll know what to substitute in when you get to a problem like that. Okay, so your capital A represents your current amount, or what the amount grows to. So like what will it be in the future if they want that kind of a problem. Okay, your capital P represents the principal. That's like your initial investment. What you start with. R is your percentage rate as a decimal. You always want to change that to a decimal. N is the number of compoundings. Compounding periods each year. And then T is how many years? Okay, so looking at the first problem, we want to solve for the variable. And the variable in this case is an exponent. So what you want to do is, when you can, rewrite whatever number that is not prime as a prime number raised to a power. So, for example, the 2 is already a prime number, so you can't really rewrite that. But 8 is not a prime number. So how could I write 8 as a prime number raised to a power? 2 to the third. Okay, another way you could figure that out, if you just don't know it off the top of your head, is use a factor tree. So 8 is 4 times 2, and then you would get 2 times 2 times 2. So you have 3 2's. Those are your prime factors. Okay, so I'd have 2 to the x equals 2 to the third. That's 8. And then to the third power. That was originally there. When you have a power raised to a power, you multiply them together. 2 to the x equals 2 to the ninth. And since my bases are the same, they're both 2's, I can drop the bases, set the exponents equal, and solve for x. Okay, so your goal is to get your bases to be the same, and then you can set the exponents equal to each other. Any questions? Okay, so let's try one. You want to try one on your own? Let's do number 2. I'll do it up here and you guys do it at your desk. So I'm getting that x is -1. Any questions? All right, so let's look at number 5. Is everyone finished with this?
Not Mitchell.
Is everybody okay? Okay, so 9 I can rewrite as 3 squared. So now the bases are the same, so those can reduce out, so to speak. And I've got to distribute the 2, so I have 4x minus 2 equals 6x. And then subtract the 4x and divide by 2. Okay, so let's look at number 5. Number 5 is an inequality, but you're doing the same thing. You want to rewrite your numbers as a prime number raised to a power, and then you can get rid of the bases and set your exponents equal to each other as long as the bases match.
So what do you do with the basis?
Well, then you can't work the problem, but you should be able to get the bases to match in this section. Okay? So 243, I want to try to write it as 3 raised to a power. So what can I do first of all to get it out of the denominator? To the negative 1 power. So then it'll be in the other side of the fraction bar. Okay, and then 243, could I write that as 3 to a power? 3 to what power? 3 to the 5th, okay. So 3 to the 2x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 3 to the negative 5th power. So now the bases are the same, so I can reduce those out, set my exponents greater than or equal to, and solve. So 2x is greater than or equal to negative 4. X is greater than or equal to negative 2. Any questions? Okay, so let's look at the bottom part. Number 10. It says write an exponential function for the graph that passes through the given point. And the form that you want to use for these is y equals a times b to the x. Your y and your x are going to stay variables. So these two stay variables, but I need to figure out the values for a and b. Okay, and on number 10 they give you 2 points, 0, 5, and 4, 3,125. They should always give you a point that has 0 for x. And this is the point I want to use first. When I substitute the y and the x into this equation, 5 equals a times b to the 0 power. What is b to the 0 power going to be? 1, right? So basically, this point is telling you what a is. A is going to be 5 in this case. Okay, so you have one of your variables defined. Now I'm going to use the other point to solve for b. So I'm going to substitute 3,125 in for the y. A is 5. B is what I'm solving for. And the x is 4. So I want to divide by 5 first. And then what's my next step to solve for b? What's the opposite of an exponent? The root. Right. This is, the exponent here is 4, so that means I want to take the 4th root of both sides. So your b value is going to be 5. Doesn't always happen that they're the same number. It just kind of happened this time. And now you can write your equation. Y equals a, which is 5, times b, which is 5 to the x power. And that's your function. Any questions? You guys want to do one on your own? Okay, let's do number 11. You do it on your own and I'll do it up here.